Yeah, it's your boy Nico giving y'all 5 amazing manga you should definitely check out ASAP Hold the Rocky. So to start off, if you like Tokyo Ghoul, World Trigger, Jujutsu Kaisen, you'll really like this one, Phantom Seer. We have two amazing main characters. So essentially, here's the plot. If something strange and mysterious happens, you go to Yori. They say he has psychic powers, but convincing him to actually help you deal with fierce phantoms, that makes it a challenge. So essentially, Iori is this kid who likes to be alone, he wants a normal life, but for some reason, he knows he's one of the few people that can actually fight phantoms. So he's always put in situations where he has to fight, even though if he had his own choice, he'd rather do nothing or just be passive. And there's a reason behind it that we don't know yet, but as we read, we get to see there's a valid reason why Iori wants to just be a normal kid. He never got the opportunity to just relax and do what he wants to do. He's always forced in situations where he has to be active. He has to do something because if he doesn't, no one else will. And then we learn he is really mad and wants to kill the main antagonist of the overall series. And by his side is Riku, this girl that starts off being helpless but has an amazing power. And essentially, she learns that she can be a great help to Yori, and they become this amazing dynamic duo that even though Yori didn't want it, it seems like they really balance each other out. And that's what I like about this series. A lot of the characters have funny interaction with others. So a lot of these characters, I would say, are socially awkward, and I can see them easily being outcast. But when they come together, there's nothing they can't do. And that's why I like it so much, because I feel like it's grounded in reality. Not all of us want to be the main character. Not all of us are amazing in every possible way. Someone's just average with a hidden talent that not even we know about. I like about the fights, it feels like essentially a mini game meets time attack. So essentially, the way all the fights go down, the enemy will win the longer the fight goes on. And as the fight goes on, your chances diminish. So you have to figure out the enemy's weakness and defeat them before too much time passes and too many people get hurt in the crossfires. So that makes it so much fun to watch because it's not just, oh, the strongest power wins. You gotta know the matchups down to the T. It's not about that. It's about using what you have and making it a winning strategy. So, for example, if you have an enemy that is agile, but you only have, power types, you gotta somehow draw them out. Have someone to vanguard, have someone to continually press the enemy, and somebody to defend everybody else. That's what makes it so much fun to read every single week. Every fight is a game of, okay, what's the weakness? How can I exploit it? And how can I finish this as quickly as possible so no one else can get hurt? And that's why it's so much fun. It reminds me why I like World Trigger. The fight is not just about the strongest or best ability. It's about knowing how to use that ability to your advantage. Every single week is full of jokes, interesting backgrounds, character development. It's a wild ride. I really recommend you check it out ASAP Hold the Rocky. And you can read it's on Manga Plus, and I'm pretty sure the Shonen Jump app. And it's amazing. I really do hope it gets animated one day because that would be crazy. And I can already see them having a lot of talented voice actors on the project and giving us an amazing experience. And hopefully that animation will be extra, but who knows. This next one, I'm pretty sure it's going to come to Kodansha Comics pretty soon. I don't even like soccer, but this made me like soccer. Because my biggest problem with a lot of sports manga, it's all the same thing. What's going to work? Teamwork. Blue Lock is totally different. So the whole plot is, after the World Cup of 2018 happens, Japan's team has been struggling. They don't know what they're missing. And they realize what they need. Someone who can dominate. So they're trying to basically make the absolute ace striker who can lead them to victory and make Japan a team that every other country will fear. So they're trying to find, it's amazing, untapped potential in some young soccer player around high school age. So they picked 300 of the best up and coming youth players and trying to teach them and bring out their true potential so they can essentially be an all-star on the Japanese Olympic team. But what makes the Blue Lock different, like I said, it's not about teamwork or everybody coming together for a common goal. No, in Blue Lock, everybody's selfish. Everybody wants to be that player that when they come on the field, it's going to be a great game. When they come on the field, they're the one everyone wants to pay attention to because of how good they are. And whenever they get the ball, you just know they're going to score. And if they're not going to score, they're going to allow someone else to score. That's how good they are. In Blue Lock, all the characters have their own unique and amazing talents. And they all know that there's better people than them and they have reasons for playing the way they do. And as time goes on, we learn that a lot of these players, they know if they mess up right now, they'll never get a chance as good as Blue Lock. Because think about it, if you can beat other kids your age by showing how amazing you are at soccer, you can play on the Olympic team. That's money right there. You'll have well-known recognition. You'll be famous. So essentially, the main character, his name is Ego, he's trying to make the most amazing player ever. And he tells him since the very beginning, I am not going to be your friend. I'm not going to be your manager, your coach. All I'm going to do is put situations where you grow. And Ego's whole thing is essentially humans, they evolve and adapt to stress. And if they can't do that, they're going to be failures. And Ego tries to reinforce in these kids' mind the difference between a good player and a bad player is one of them adapts, even when a situation is in their favor. And instead of blaming things on luck, timing, or external factors, they make everything work for them. And they can learn and adapt quickly to be successful. And that's what makes it so interesting. And I really can't wait to see it animated. And I hope and pray that one day soon you hear Blue Lock anime. Because when that happens, bro, it's going to be the most hype thing you've ever seen in your entire life. Every time somebody scores a goal, I'm screaming on the edge of my seat. And I never do that for any sports anime. But every time I read a chat to Blue Lock, I'm like, yes, bro. That was crazy. I needed that expeditedly. So yeah, Blue Lock. Amazing series. Get on that. ASAP Hold the Rocky. Now going in a different direction, this is one that caught me off guard. It's a seinen, and I really like it because it's about bouncing back from like the worst possible thing that could ever happen to you. So if you like Vagabond, like Slam Dunk, you'll love this one. So a motorcycle accident, bone cancer, and a speeding truck crashing into these boys' lives, it changed them forever. They have 3 different personalities, but I have one thing in common. Their passion for basketball. And I'm pretty sure you can read this on Viz. And bro, I love it so much. So we see these boys, bounce back from being in a dark place, and has like my favorite quotes and memes from this. So essentially, it's like a coming of age story about, recovering and figuring out how to make your passion work for you, even when you feel like you hit rock bottom. So one guy, essentially he got this girl injured, and now she'll never be able to walk the same again. And she had a really bright future. Another guy basically, stole somebody's bicycle and then boom, broke his legs. With another kid, he had bone cancer, and essentially he was going to be a track star, and then all that came crashing down. And he turned to basketball. And I like about this series, it's really grounded in reality of how, no matter how good your life started or where it's going, it's all about your mindset. If you think of it like, oh, everything's all over, you're not going to easily bounce back. But if you have people that guide you and, try their best, you can most likely bounce back. But it still comes down to what you do. Do you want to improve, or do you want to stay stagnant? Because I like about these 3 different characters, they all come from different walks of life. You have the cool guy who was this amazing athlete, and then his joy is stolen from him because, bone cancer. The other guy, he's basically a delinquent, and everybody hates him because they only see him as a delinquent whose only good skill is basketball. And that's the thing that gets him passionate. He doesn't have anything else that motivates him. And even when he's not trying to be a delinquent, that's all people see him for, and no one really respects him. Yes, he's mad that he ruined a girl's whole life, but he's trying to make up for it. But it's hard because no matter what he does, it's never enough. No one gives him a chance, and he feels like it's even worth a chance. And then we have this popular guy that everyone loved, but the issue was he always looked down on people. So once he finally got, off his high horse, no one wanted to help him. Everyone just laughed at him and said, see, now you know how it feels when you're looked down upon. Now you know how it feels to feel like you're not good enough. One person really stuck with him the entire time, and he's just realizing how important she was. Because think about it. If you were always an asshole and someone gives you a chance multiple times and sticks with you when everyone else left you, you must trust that. What's cool about it, like I said, 3 different personalities, but they're all passionate about basketball. So imagine you just became paralyzed from the leg down. How you gonna play basketball the same? It's totally different, even if you were an ace. Or once again, if you, had bone cancer, and then you learn that, oh, your favorite sport you can't play anymore. What do? Because if you're already good at a sport, it boosts your ego. So if you go against people who are better than you, but they're humble, wouldn't it throw you for a loop? And that's what I like about Real so much. All three boys' story intertwined because they know each other and they all impact each other. But the cool thing is, even though they're so different, they're all pretty similar in the fact that essentially they're amazing, but people don't have a good, outlook on them. And every time they try to change it, it's like their personality and pride is always holding them back. So they have to learn how to humble themselves and actually apply themselves so they can improve. Like every chapter, I'm feeling something. And even when things are going horribly wrong, it's like I can't look away. That's what makes it so good. So, yeah, definitely check it out. Kimono Jihen is an amazing series. I remember the first time someone told me about it, I was like, I'm not going to read that, bro. It looked kind of weird. I'm not feeling no vibes from this. But tell me why, as soon as I read it, I literally caught up within 2 nights. I ain't sleep just to read it, bro. That's how good it was. Essentially, it's about this boy in this remote village that got founded by, this guy named Inugami, who's basically a detective that specializes in, helping the occult. And then we learned that this boy was not going to school. He's been working in the field every single day. And he's shunned by his peers. And essentially, they're saying he's filthy, he stinks. And then we learned that, there's some killings been going on because of supernatural forces at work. And then we learned there's more than besides this boy. His name is Kanabe. And bro, it's really hitting. Because this series asks a very important question. Is coexistence possible with different races or species? And if so, how do you go about it? Or should domination be the way to go? Two opposing factions in this series. One faction that believes that yokai can't work with humans because it's proven in the past that humans are greedy and they hate things that are different than them. So if they know that yokai exist, they will always war with them. They will always fight for domination over territory instead of sharing territory. And the other faction believes coexistence is possible if everybody, has set boundaries and they can work together at their own pace. So for example, yokai can live with humans, date humans, marry humans. But if you don't want to, you can still respect yokai and just, be their friend, be their associates. And that's why the two sides are fighting to see whose ideology is correct. But that makes it tricky because both sides have valid points. Yes, if humans fight against each other over different hairstyles, different races, why would you trust them to like an entire different species and then learn this multiple variations of species under this big umbrella called yokai? Both sides are right, but only one side can be correct in the end because we learned that essentially it's a fight of ideologies. And while it's supposed to be simple, it's very complex. So it's really good. And it's only like 50 plus chapters, but bro, it's so good. I really wish everyone checks it out. Unfortunately, there's no official English release yet, but I hope we get it. ASAP Hodaraki, hopefully with the anime's popularity, Viz or even Bookwalker picks it up. We'll have to wait and see. And when that happens, I'll update you guys. And finally, you can read on Manga Plus and Viz. So Taro Sakamoto is the world's ultimate assassin. He's feared by villains, admired by hitmen, but one day he fell in love. So he had to do retire, marry, and now he's into fatherhood. And now he's gained weight. This chubby guy runs a neighborhood store, is actually a former legendary hitman. Can protect his family from danger. Get ready to experience a whole new kind of action and comedy series. And I really like this. It's super funny. So essentially, Sakamoto, he retired because he loves his wife and they made like this kind of promise where he would quit that life and, be a regular person. But for some strange reason, every nook and cranny, people want to find him and kill him because they're like, oh, we got to kill the world's greatest hitman because that's the greatest achievement. And even though he's trying to retire and, enjoy retirement, it's like problems keep popping up out of nowhere. And essentially meets this cool kid named Shin, and he's making more allies so they can, essentially stop the assassination organization from trying to kill Sakamoto so he can enjoy his wife and kid. And even though he's not against fighting, he's just retired and he wants to do better things. And he doesn't want to save his wife, so he's trying to find this good compromise of, protecting the family, but not, making a scene and causing violence to, threaten the livelihood of his nice, peaceful life. It's really funny and it's just amazing fights. Like every fight is cool. I like how you do backstories for these assassins and how I realize they're not too bad, but they're too far gone just to be regular people. And how thin the line can be from good and evil. Because I like about it, because think about it. Are assassins really bad people? Maybe they're assassins because they had another choice. They know a better way. But that's why I like seeing, the series so much. It can show you that there's always a possibility to change. You just had to take it when the opportunity is given. And yeah, there's just 5 amazing series that hopefully you check out. And hopefully the ones that don't have official English release get one in the near future. But we have to wait and see. But hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I could really say so much more, but it's time to wrap up this video. If you like what I do, want to support me, you can always check out my Patreon or my Coffee. But hey, if you don't want to support me financially, you can always help me by sharing your favorite videos from me. 99% of people that watch my channel aren't subscribed. Let's change that. And I do hope you guys enjoy these videos because they're a lot of fun to make for me. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I could really say so much more, but my crew needs me.